Hey there, guys and girls. I am so glad to see you, and we are going to start our online learning this week, which is going to be a little different. But I want you to know if you have any questions that you can definitely email me still. And I'm going to be working on making some videos for you to watch and then some IXLs to work through to go with the content from the videos. But if you have any questions that you want to save to talk to me about, we are going to have a Google Meet on Friday. And if you are in periods 1 and 2, your posted Google Meet time will be from, hold on a second. My desk is a mess. Where did I put that? Here we go. From 10:45 to 11:15. And then if you are my period 6-7, you will be from 11:30 to 11:45. And this is also posted on the Google Classroom and in Homework Matrix with directions on how to log on to that Google Meet as well. Okay, so when we left off, we had just gone over vocabulary from Investigation 3, which was term, coefficient, and the difference between equation and expression. And we started talking about algebraic expressions, which sounded kind of scary, but really was just talking about writing equations using algebra, which meant we had a variable in the equation and we were solving to try to find the variable. So I'm going to turn the camera now to your lab sheet and work out a few problems with you. Okay, here we go. So in Investigation 3, talking about the ocean bike tour still, we have one of the college students, Theo, who decides if he wants to try to get more customers to take the bike tour, that he could offer a discount if they register early. So if you want to take the bike tour and you register early, you can get $50 off of the regular price. So that's what this little picture is here. And then the first question says, what is the discounted price if the regular tour price is $400, $500, or $650? So really, you can do this with mental math. You don't have to show any work. But what we're doing here is saying if the regular price were to be $400 and then I get a $50 discount, I'm really only paying $350 for that tour. And then I can do the same thing. If it's $500, I'm going to take the $50 off. I would only have to pay $450, and if it's $650, take the $50 off, I would have to pay $600. Now that seems pretty simplistic. So why would they have us do a simple subtraction problem when we're in 6th grade nearing the end of the school year? The reason is because the second problem says write an equation that represents the relationship of discounted price D to regular tour price P. Now, that sounds a little bit more confusing. Actually, all they're asking you to do is to write an equation that shows what you just did to get your answers in the first problem. And they're telling you the variables to use in the problem. So if you want to find the discounted price, and they're telling you to use D as the variable, if you want to find the discounted price, D, how would you do that? Well, if we go back up and look at what we did in the first problem, we took the original price and then subtracted $50. So my original price, they're telling me the regular tour price here is we're going to use P. So instead of saying like 400 or 500 or 650, I'm just going to use P. I can put any tour price in there, and then I'm going to take $50 away because that's my discount. So let's say, for example, the regular tour price would be $700. I can plug in $700 to this formula that I wrote. I can subtract my $50 discount, and I can get my discounted price of $650. So this formula here, this equation that I wrote, is telling me that I can use that for any tour price and get my discounted price. And that is the whole purpose of writing an algebraic expression or equation. I want to be able to use that to solve a problem by substituting in any number for my variable. So let's take a look at another problem. If I look at part B, and I'm going to use a piece of scrap paper here. If I look at part B, it says, when the Ocean Bike Tour partners set a price for customers, they need to find a 6% sales tax. Well, right away, if I'm thinking about what I remember from sales tax, I know that I'm going to take my tax times the original price to figure out how much tax is added on to the cost. Something else that I remember is when I'm working with percents, I can change that percent to a decimal to calculate it. So here, instead of 6%, I can use the decimal 6/100ths. So let's take a look at what the problem's asking. What is the sales tax if the tour price is $400, $500, or $650? Let's just take $400 for example. So if I have $400 for my tour price, and I need to calculate a 6% sales tax, I'm going to multiply those two together. 6 times 0 is 0, 6 times 0 is 0, 6 times 4 is 24, and then I don't need to multiply the zeros by everything because I'm just going to get 0 again. I'm going to move my decimal over 2 places in my answer, and this is telling me that $24 in tax will be added on to my price. So it would really cost me $424 total for that tour, including tax. Okay. Now, if I go ahead and look at the next part of the problem, this is where I have to think about the equation. It says write an equation that represents the relationship of the amount of sales tax T to the tour price P. So again, they're giving me the variables to use. And this is telling me write an equation that represents the relationship between the sales tax and the tour price. And when I go to try to figure out which variable I'm supposed to write first, it usually will tell me in the sentence or in the equation itself. So here I'm looking and it says the relationship of the amount of sales tax. So I'm going to start with sales tax first. And I'm going to write T equals, this is my sales tax. Okay. And then it's talking about tour price. So somewhere in here, I know I'm going to have to use my tour price. And in order to get the tour price, I had to do my $400 times my 6%. And that is my $400 tour price. So I'm going to put $400 here. Or it could be 500 or 650. So it looks like when I'm doing that times my 6%, I'm actually using P for tour price. So T equals, T, did you like that? T equals P, the sales tax actually equals the price times the percent. And in this case, it's 6%. So all I'm doing is showing when I go to find my sales tax that I'm adding on, I had to do the price times the percent. That's what this is, the price times the percent, to find the total tax added on. And now I'm just going to rewrite this so that it is more mathematically correct. So I'm going to do P times decimal point 0.06 and if you remember what we talked about with coefficients and variables, I don't have this written correctly because I need my coefficient first. I need my number to come before my variable. So I'm going to rewrite this and perfect it. And I'm going to put my 0.06 first and then my P. So this should be written that the sales tax is 0.06, or my 6%, times the price. So if I want to go back and figure out how much it would cost, how much tax would be added on to my price, if I go back now and I see my price is $500, I can use the formula that I came up with here. I can use this right here, and it'll tell me how much it's going to cost added on. So I can say that my tour price with my sales tax added on is going to be 0.06 times 500, which is really the same thing that I did up here. I did 400 times 0.06, but now I'm going to do 500 times 0.06. I'm going to work this out on the side here. 6 times 0, 6 times 0, 6 times 5. Move my decimal over twice. And this is telling me that I would add $30 on. So if it was going to be a $500 charge plus my $30 in tax, I would have to pay a total of $530 for the tour. Okay, I'm going to stop there with those two problems. Hopefully this makes some sense. If not, please try the IXL on level H. It is underneath the Z's, and it's new, solving one step, adding and subtracting equations with whole numbers. Again, that's in the homework matrix and on the Google Classroom. Let me turn this back around here. I feel like I'm talking and you're looking at paper. Okay, give those a try, and remember you can click for an example problem when you first get on IXL if you need a refresher. Also, you can watch this video again. You can Google search. You can email me, and if you're having complications with this, I'll email you back. I may even call you if necessary, and then we can talk about it on Google Meet on Friday. And if you need to have any other questions answered further on in the week, you can do the same thing, or we can talk about it again on Friday. So I look forward to seeing you then. Okay, bye.